Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show. Don't touch that remote. We got a great show here today. I'm very fortunate to have some of the movie actors that are going to be in a movie that's upcoming movie. It's in the process of being made now, shot on the streets of New York City. It's called The Irishman, and it's all about, well, I won't tell you no more. They're going to tell you all about it, okay? So, I'm going to announce it like we're in Madison Square Garden in this corner, weighing 100. Vince, I want you to introduce your friends here, okay? Vince is one of the actors in the show, and he couldn't make one show. He says, I'm going to be busy shooting in New York. I'm throwing a guy off the roof. So, okay, Vince, tell me something about The Irishman and tell me who your friends are here.
Okay, The Irishman, which will probably win an Academy Award next year, is a Martin Scorsese film, and it's a true story. You're going to see a lot of names and people that you know in history, okay? And it is about Jimmy Sheeran, who was a Irish hitman, and he was Jimmy Hoffa's bodyguard. And on his deathbed, he said he is the person that offed Jimmy Hoffa and burned his body. That's his deathbed confession. Over there on my left, who plays a barber in The Irishman, my good friend, I filmed with him in many movies, Sex and the City, Sal Darigo. Sal, you want to say something?
No, you said it all.
No, you didn't say everything. Here's a shot from the barber shop where he is the barber, and he cut this guy's hair. After he left, then somebody come in and knocked this guy off. So that's one of the scenes in this movie. I mean, this movie's going to be something. It's going to break all records, you know. And I'm very fortunate to have some of the actors here that are going to, and you're going to see more of them around here. So tell me something about this. You were cutting the guy's hair.
Well, the scene here is at a barber shop.
Talk to that thing over there. Go ahead.
The scene here in a barber shop that they wanted to use the original barber shop, but they had converted it into a coffee shop. So they recreated every detail of this barber shop. And I happened to come across this picture in a book.
That's the original plate.
That's the original barber shop, basically. But I didn't see any of these shooting, which was kind of.
Did you have anything else? You cut anybody else's hair?
I asked the boss, Mr. Scorsese, do you want a haircut or not today?
I got news for you. I want you to cut my hair because the guy got to shoot me while I'm there. Is that Rock? All right. Now, who's the next guy?
Tommy DeClario. He's got the voice of Frank Sinatra.
Oh, he sings like Sinatra?
Oh, my God.
Good.
And then you got another
What color eyes he got? He got blue eyes, too.
Yeah, what do you want to do? And then you got Lou DeShoe over there. You know,
all right, how about him?
Lou DeShoe's got another great voice, and he's an actor, too. He's doing movies, yeah.
And he's a show business, too.
Yeah. He has a club and everything. Luke, you can tell him.
Tell me something about what you do now.
Well, right now we've got coming up.
You talk to that camera there.
What we got coming up right now on May the 11th, we have a showcase. I have 10 acts. I'll be doing the Sinatra. We got the Stylistics. We got the Motown. We got a number of different varieties of music. It's honoring Sinatra's 20th year of his passing. On May 14th will be 20 years that he passed. He left us. He's up there in heaven with Elvis. But we're doing a show at Comstatters in the Northeast Philadelphia. It's at 9130, what street is that? Oh, Academy Road. Academy Road in the Northeast Philadelphia. Tickets are $20. If you mention the name of the show, you're going to get a discount down to 10. It's actually a showcase. We're presenting 10 different acts. We have owners and managers of nightclubs. Anywhere there's entertainment, to come and visit us and see these acts. Great entertainment, and like I said, it's an anniversary celebration about Sinatra's 20th year of his passing.
Good. All right, now, what other experience you have? Any kind of other shows you're in?
I've been in shows most of my life. I started at 7 years old at the Philadelphia Boys Choir in Philadelphia.
Talk about my hearing aids here.
Philadelphia Boys Choir at 7 years old. I sang for the Philadelphia Boys Choir.
Oh, yeah.
And as I progressed...
Are you from Philly?
From South Philadelphia, yes. I grew up around 7th and Federal near the pretzel factory there.
Oh, yeah.
My father was a boxer too, Rock. He fought under the name of Tommy Muldoon.
How about Tommy Fort, Johnny Fort? They were South Philly fighters.
Yep. Yeah.
And
So is he going to be a fighter or a singer?
Yeah.
One of the two, you know.
had good fighters down South Philly, right?
Great fighters and great singers,
And
right?
how about you? You were a Philadelphia cop.
Yes, I was, 20 years. And the funny part is, when I got into this business of acting, they always guessed me as a gangster. and I
How'd
don't
you
know
get
why.
into acting? What'd you do?
There was a call going out for actors. You didn't have to be a union guy or nothing. So I figured, let me try out. So I happened to meet another guy, and we start talking. So here this guy's a lawyer. I says, what do you want to be a lawyer for? I said, or an actor for? I says, you don't make that kind of money. He says, no. He says, I'd like to be an actor. And darn it, he was. He made a couple movies. But he was still a lawyer, though, because actors don't work that often.
Yeah,
But
you've been around a little bit. Where are some of the places you've been around?
I've worked mostly in this area, like New York, Washington, Baltimore. And I worked in one of his movies, two of his movies. And
Yeah, we were all in the same movie, Red Corvette. Remember Red Corvette?
Yeah, Red Corvette.
Associate producer on that film. And
Frank
again,
Lindsay.
they played. What was your part? I'm trying to remember.
I was dancing with a couple beautiful girls at the nightclub.
Were there beautiful girls there?
Man, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was
Yeah.
good. The nightclub scene.
I threw him off the roof and sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, my friend put a 9mm to my head and threw me off the roof.
He wouldn't
actually
have had the
happened.
guy we wanted to with 8.
Because he wouldn't jump on his own. I don't blame you.
Yeah. I didn't like heights. You know?
He did the one with the pool, what was that, behind the
There's a film called Inside Pocket.
inside pocket?
It's
yeah.
a short. It was done with Will Smith's
Cousin.
cousin, and it stayed as a short. It's at some point it may turn out to be a full feature film. It's that good. A lot of actors that were in Men in Black were also in that film, and we play gangsters again. You know,
I
and
wonder why.
but it's in.
We never get to play the priest.
I
He
did
played-
one-
he played the priest.
You played actor.
I was
I
a
did.
priest for, he was,
I was a priest.
I was a priest.
Yeah,
you were a
I was
priest.
just kidding. Yeah, I was a priest.
You
in a
play as a
movie.
gangster too.
Gangster and a priest.
You're a hitman,
There's no difference.
and you're a police superintendent.
Oh, it's commissioner. Here I am.
Commissioner.
Police commissioner.
Oh yeah.
Here I am with Viola Davis in Law Abiding Citizen.
Who's that with?
Viola Davis. She's a
Oh.
real famous actress. Wins
Oh,
Academy
yeah.
Awards.
And then you got another one here with. Who's this with?
That's with Andy Garcia's people. We were in a movie called Rob the Mob, and Rob the Mob is a true story. Really happened in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was another good.
What part did you play?
Oh, I played one of the mobsters that got robbed,
Oh yeah.
and that's
Right, who's this?
Ever catch
that's
those
Robert
guys
De
or what?
Niro and me in the New York Post, and
was that?
I didn't know why I was posing for that picture when I did it, but they were putting into advertise a movie we did over in France
one we did
called The
before?
Family,
Who's that
All
guy?
right, now let's talk about this movie, The Irishman.
The Irishman.
Now, how does this all come about?
Well-
Who's playing The Irishman?
Well, The Irishman is played by Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro?
And Al Pacino is going to play Jimmy Hoffa. Okay?
Wait a
And,
minute, Jimmy Hoffa's going to be?
Jimmy Hoffa is going to get whacked in The Irishman.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
he-
nobody knows where he is. They said
Well-
somebody said he's in some cement.
According,
Somebody said they made sausage. Hey,
yeah,
you
but
don't
according
know.
to Frank Sheeran's deathbed testimony, he whacked him and he burned his body. There's nothing left but ashes. Now he did it on his deathbed. It's got some credibility, and he was Jimmy Hoffa's bodyguard. So who had a better opportunity?
Certainly.
Jimmy was skimming off the Union, and he had to go. What can I say?
Yeah, they also have a They brought back Harvey Keitel,
Right.
who's playing Angelo Bruno
Yes, he is.
at Philadelphia.
Bruno from Philly.
From
Yes.
Philly, yeah. They
Well,
brought
there's
him
one
back.
guy. The one guy, he had a chicken store, and
Chicken Man tested.
and then they put a bomb in his car, and when it blew up, and they blew him up in parts, that he called him chicken parts.
Yeah.
Right. So when you turn that motor on, man, you gotta never know somebody's gonna blow up.
Do you remember the movies Casino?
Yeah.
About Frank Rosenthal? Well, I lived in Vegas for 19 years. I went for 4 days and I stayed 19 years. I fell in love with that town. But I worked for Lefty Rosenthal. And the movie's Casino is about him. And if you recall, he walked to the car, started the car, and it blew up.
Yeah.
But that particular year, that model, that car, has a steel plate, and he just got a little, little hurt. But,
That was it, right?
yeah, but
David,
it's kind of loud. So now-
When you were a policeman, was commissioner, or was he a commissioner? Was he a mayor? Rizzo, what was he?
I worked.
You worked under him?
I went as a commissioner, as a mayor.
Huh?
As a commissioner, I worked for him. As a mayor, I worked for him. I wish we had him back down. What a guy.
He's also in The Irishman. The guy's playing Frank Rizzo.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
no kidding.
No, he's in there.
Well, how come I'm not in it? I'm a
You
good
know
friend
what?
of his.
I don't know. Them people in New York, they're so picky.
They lost you.
Yeah,
They lost your number.
I was Frank Rizzo's ballbearer.
Yes, you
What's the
were.
name of the movie when we told it?
I'm in the book. They wrote a book about him. And the guy, Sal Palantonio, he gave me credit for having him run the last time when he had a heart attack and died. But he never should have ran because he had a bad ticker. And he had diabetes. And the doctor told him, no. He says, after the election, I'll go to the doctors. Well, didn't go to the doctors. He went to the undertaker.
Hank, is there any truth to they called Frank Rizzo the Cisco Kid?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how we got to know him. When I was a policeman in Northtown, he was commissioner in Philly. And I used to have a pearl handle gun, and he had a pearl handle. So the Philadelphia Bulletin then did a story about Cisco Kid in Northtown. So one day he calls me, who the hell are you? Who's this? Frank Rizzo. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, okay. And from then on, he says, come on down. So Commissioner O'Neill says, come on down. So three of us went down, we had lunch, and we became friends ever since, And then when the time came, he died, Carmela Rizzo, we were in the kitchen, and Joe Rizzo and everybody, the family was all gathered, and Carmela turned around and says, I want Hank Cisco to be one of the ballbearers, So I never worked for him or anything, but we just became great friends,
Nice.
He made a very profound statement one time. Told me and my partner. He says he's Thomas. He says, you know what, kid? Just call us kid. He says, you got to teach these guys. If they don't respect the law, they've been, gosh darn, fear it. And that always stuck with me. I mean, this guy was something. And you wouldn't want to play cards with him. Don't call his bluff because he did not bluff.
Oh, yeah. So,
You know,
He had a big hand, didn't he?
oh, yeah.
I
He
went-
had a big hand.
I went to his cousin's
I
funeral.
got a picture of him
He
here
put his hand over
someplace,
top of mine, mud on. It covered both of them,
It was almost as large as
Yeah, he's
Andre the Giant's head.
Uh-huh.
And when he was campaigning, we'd go, and he said, I want you to meet my friend Hank Cisco. He's a county detective in Montgomery County. He says, when he goes to church, when they come in with the he shows his badge when they get on the collection. So, but all right, tell me a little bit more about this movie. It's in the process.
Well, it'll
Got
be
a lot
out-
of big stars in there.
Oh, man, if you go on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and read about it, there's 5 pages of actors in there. Big act. 5 page, not 1 page.
Oh,
one page
my
and
God.
I'm on page 2.
Right.
Tony Pro Mobster, they call me. Tony Provenzano. But anyhow, it has got a lot of facts that happen in real life.
Is this a story about Hoffa?
There's a story about
He was a big
Hoffa.
union guy,
Yes,
right?
Yes, a story about the killing of Jimmy Hoffa. And also, they have so many true things going back to the 50s, going back to the Kennedy election. I'm not allowed to say because, we have a confidentiality, but
no.
you're going to see things in this movie that that happened in real life. And I played 2 different type mobsters. I played Tony Pro in the 70s, and then I played in the 50s, a mob guy,
Yeah.
with Robert De Niro. And I got some pictures of the cars. You should see them old cars they used in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they were mint condition,
Yeah.
But we know that it's a Scorsese film, it's top notch, got a lot of big players, it's history, and people like history.
Well, what, any scene when I see the movie, when I want to see you, where will I see you? You throwing somebody off? What? What's the story?
They
Not
canceled my throwing the guy off the roof.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and they made me commit voter fraud. That's all I
They
can
what?
say. Commit voter fraud. I was a Chicago mobster then,
Yeah.
and I was in Chicago committing voter fraud for John F. Kennedy. That's all I'm at liberty to say.
All right, now, you seem like a little bit like Frank Sinatra.
Oh, yeah, we're actually going to do it too.
Let me hear a couple notes.
How about a little summer wind? A little summer wind?
Summer winds.
You ready?
Summer winds.
The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. You'll hear more.
That's good. I like that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got a side feature. It's a great show. We got one of the cast from the movie The Irishman. But now we have Tommy Delcorio Jr., okay? He's a singer, he's an actor, and he's also a producer. So he's going to sing a little Frank Sinatra style. And he's in movies, a movie that's coming up called The Creed. That was about Rocky's first guy opponent. That movie is coming out. He's in it. He's also in another movie called Sleeping with the Fishes and also Inside Pocket. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet one of the cast from The Irishman, and he's going to sing a little song about Frank Sinatra. And I love this song, Summer Winds. And here he is. Tommy, give him.
Thank you, Hank. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on Hank's show. He's a great guy. And with a lot of my other cast members that in the show itself. It's terrific. And I'm happy to do some stuff for you right now. The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song, and then we strolled that golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind, like painted kites, those days and nights, they went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky. Then softer than a piper man, one day it called to you. I lost you to the summer wind. The autumn wind, why, and the winter winds, they have come and gone. But still those days, why, those lonely days, they go on and on. But guess who sighs his lullabies through nights that never end? Well, it's my fickle friend, that old summer wind. The summer wind, warm summer wind. Yeah, the summer wind. Feel a little warmer out there now? Take the chill off. Yeah.
Hey, you know, I sang one time in front of President Truman's picture one time.
In front of his picture?
Well, it's a Social Security joke. You're giving me a 65, you know. But, you know, I know that you come to the Manjuni. We're going to have another special show. Maybe you bring your fellas over here.
They're free.
I'm hoping the new place opened where Chateau Grenier used to be. So we're looking to put some floor shows in there. I'm going to see some real thing. We're going to do a big fundraiser make some money to make this a first-class, top-shelf studio.
Yeah, that's
And that's what we're working on.
We can do a casino night here.
All right, thank you.
Vegas night.
Now, we have Steve Rividelli, singer. Got two Italian singers that sing at the casinos. They're going to donate their time. We got a magician that is in the box. And daughter sits on top of the box. They put a curtain he's out and she's in there. I don't know. It's really good. Real magic,
Nice.
you know. I
believe
very good.
Steve
you know.
does a Bobby Darin, I think.
What's that?
Does he do a Bobby Darin impersonation? Steve?
Steve.
The singer.
Yeah,
singer.
yeah, yeah.
I think he's a,
It's
Bobby
good,
Darin.
good,
Yeah,
good,
very
good. He
very
sings down Philly a lot too, you know. So where else are you singing?
Well,
You're
I'm-
singing different places?
I'm down the shore right now. I'm down in a little place in Brigantine, New Jersey.
Where?
Brigantine, New Jersey, next to
Brigantine, yeah.
A little place called Andre's down there. I'm usually down there every other week. There, Scotland Run in Williamstown. I've got some engagements coming up at the casinos. They're opening up the new Ocean View where the Revel is. So I'm in negotiations with those guys right now to do something in there with those guys. But I've sang in the Taj Mahal before, and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and I've been singing
Taj
since
Mahal,
I
I
was
was,
seven years old.
I was assistant trainer for Mike Grant, who was fighting Andrew Galata, Polish fighter from Poland. And we were in the dressing room, and they were wrapping Mike's hands for the fight. And he knock on the door, who's there? But Trump comes in. He owned the joint, you know, at the casino. And he wished him good luck. I shook. I didn't know who he was. Who does care about a guy? You big championship fight, guys rapping and come in and say hello, you know. But he's a fight fan, you know, and he's a president. He likes show business. He likes boxing, so he does a lot of bobbing and weaving. So I like him.
You know what I remember about the green-headed flies?
Greenheads.
We was kids, right? The old man say, "We're going to the shore." We used to cry, "No, we're not going. The green-headed flies will get us." And then we were down there, and I'd say, "They get you." We didn't want to go down there. We cried so much. But my friend Tommy's told me now that they did away with the green-headed flies. Well, almost. He said when the wind goes out, they're not around.
I want to tell you the truth.
Go ahead.
Since Tommy's been down here, he gave them an offer they couldn't refuse.
And the
They
flies
don't
left.
come there.
They flew.
Tell the truth. You don't want to say that, but I want to tell him.
All right.
He's too modest over here. My man.
No.
I gotta respect these two guys. 'Cause
Yeah.
My granddaughter Allison said, "Pop, stick to acting, because you can't sing for nothing." And that's the truth. So
Well-
anybody that's got a voice and can do that, I got
Well, I know
respect.
this guy. Every time his wife would sing, he'd go out on the porch. He didn't want the neighbors to think he was choking her. I don't know. It was a really thing, you know. But I know. I think movies are coming back little by little. You know, you going to go see the movie? All right. See, we got all our camera guys are going to watch it. We got the great cameraman, you know, from Northtown High School, you know, and so. How old were you when the first time went before cameras?
You won't believe it, 50 years old.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've been
Was it
acting.
in school?
No. I became an actor at 50 years old. I was walking out of a casino one day, minding my business. I used to, you know, they liked my look. They called me over there, getting ready to do a movie in Atlantic City called Snake Eyes
Never
with
did.
Nicolas Cage. Come on over here. I figure what these jamokes want. They're accusing me, right?
Borrowed like
Yeah.
$20 for a cup of coffee.
They said, "You know, you got a good look, kid." He said, "How would you like to be in a movie once?" "You gonna pay me?" "Yeah." "Hey, I'll be in a movie once. It'll help my career. I'm a salesman to the casinos. Yeah, I'll do it." I never expected to snowball to 80 movies. And when I got my first speaking part in 2004, I never expected to get that speaking part. You know what I mean? And they loved me, and I got the speaking part, and I became a member of the Screen Actors Guild.
Good. Oh, you belong to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah. So what kind of parts did you play?
Well, usually a gangster of some sorts. I produced a couple.
Well, you don't
films.
look like a gangster.
Yeah, depending
No,
on the
you look
outfit.
like you look like a babysitter.
I'm a baby.
right?
I'm a babysitter.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I'll tell you a funny story, Hank. These two guys.
Yeah, his guys.
We
When you come walking into school, we thought, here comes a hitman, you know.
Hey, you can't get in this place. It's like 4 knocks.
we got a call one time from a casting agent, Roz, right? She calls me up. She says, "Be at Jerry's Corner." That's in Southwest Florida, in the junkyards. We got Charles Dutton, the actor Charles Dutton.
Yeah.
He's shooting a movie, and the movie was called "Must Be the Music." It was about the gangsters in the '60s that became record producers. So I get there, and you're going to be playing opposite these two guys, and you're gangsters, and he's going to come in and rob you guys at a number racket. So I look at the guys, I said, they don't look really authentic, I said. And then they're talking, they're saying, you know what? If this is not over in 2 hours, I'm leaving. So I said, wait a minute. I go back to the casting agent. I said, I want to shoot this today, one time. I don't want to come back because you don't have my counterparts, because they're talking about leaving. You got to be on the set for a long period of time. And he knows being an actor is not all glorified.
No.
You're on you could be up for 24 hours at a crack. So I said, I don't think they're going to stay. Talk to Mr. Dutton. So I said, I'll take two guys down there to be so authentic, you're not going to believe it. I'll have them here in an hour. I take these two guys in.
You called us up. I was watching the news. You know, I had like a day's beard, and he said, just come down here. Just don't do nothing. Just come down.
Yeah.
Call Sal. So I call Sal. He's watching the news. We go down there. We just go down there.
And it's a real speakeasy. We walk in. The joint, boom, everybody shut up.
They all shut up when we walked in the door.
You remember that commercial when E&F Hutton speaks? When we walked in,
You can hear a pin drop.
I'll tell you, we heard like a wait.
The look.
Yeah.
I mean, Sal looks very serious.
I'm looking around. What's going on over here?
Yeah.
He's got the 6-button Benny on. He's got the hat. He's got the collar up. I'll tell you, there was complete silence.
Well, Mr. Dutton sets the scene up, and he's directing this and he's acting in it. So he walks out with a ski mask, and he's got a sort of shotgun.
No, yeah, she had a big shot.
A big shotgun, full shotgun, excuse me.
It's a
Yeah.
small room, too.
So in a small room, so he opens his mouth, he says, Mr. Dutton, he said, can I make a suggestion? Yeah, what's that? Shouldn't you be using like maybe a 357? That's an awful big gun for the small area.
Because it's
He
right,
said,
it's right
you're right,
close to him.
give me a 357. And then he says, well, this is going to be impromptu because there's supposed to be no speaking. This was just like a pan of him robbing these various places. So he says, you mind if we say a few lines just so it looks more authentic? He said, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, pal, you know who's showing you robbing?
So we improvised. We finished the scene, and Charlie Dutton says to us, you guys are terrific actors. My God, we're keeping the whole thing. I said, okay, well, that means more money.
Touche. I almost got locked up in Maryland. I was going to kill a guy in an alley. So they had the permit to do the shoot. I'm standing outside a pizza place, Chevy Chase, Maryland. I got a gun in my belt. First cop pulls across the street. Then the second one. Then the third. That was the whole police force. Then they get out of their car and they start approaching. I throw my hands in the air. I said, I give up, take my gun. They grab me, pull the gun. Just then the director walks out of the pizza. What are you doing with my actor? We got a permit to shoot here.
Oh, my
Actor?
God.
I said, yeah, I'm going to kill the guy in about 10 minutes. You want to watch?
Oh, my God.
were like-
What city was
It
that?
was Chevy Chase, Maryland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't, yeah, I guess when they do a scene, I remember when I lived in New York, when I was boxing, I lived in 92nd in Columbus, and they were doing a scene there, I forget the name of the Naked City or something, they were
Oh,
making
yeah,
a movie.
yeah. Good
They were
show.
shooting a shot around Central Park, and they blocked the whole street off, like, what's going on, but you're all actors, and you're before the audience, and you're all involved in a big show that's coming out, and I'm so happy to have you here. And it's called The Irishman. I don't there, but I don't want to know. I'm of Italian descent, but I was born in Ireland, Coney Island. Oh, that's right. Now I'm very proud. When I lived in Brooklyn, I was in the German section. Then I moved to Norristown. It was the Irish neighborhood, So, and then I got the Afro-American 2 blocks away. So, with diversity, I grew up in a town that we have everybody here, Not Hispanic, and I can speak a little Italian just to get in and out of trouble, But other than that, I just gone. Let's have another little song.
All right, let's see. What we got?
Frank Sinatra,
We're gonna
The
be
Blue
doing-
Eyes.
We're going to do a whole thing shortly, right? We're going to be doing it too. Let's see. How glad the many millions of Annabelles and Lillians would be to capture me. But you had such persistence, you wore down my resistance. I fell, and it was swell. I'm your big and brave and handsome Romeo. How I won you, I shall never, never know. It's not that I'm attractive, but oh, my heart grew active when you came into view. I got a crush on you, Cisco Kid.
This guy died.
Those fingers in my hair, that wild come hither stare, breaks my conscience bare, it's witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it, the heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you aroused the need in me, my heart said yes indeed in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one that I would never switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. Give it up for the Cisco Band. Cause it's witchcraft, that cuckoo witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you aroused the need in me, my heart said yes indeed in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one that I would never switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. Yeah.
My version. And now
The end
the
is
end
near.
is near. And so that's it.
That's it.
Hit it.
Try it, Luke.
That one? All right. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. We did it our way.
That only took 3 glasses of wine.
I know, that's not
You know,
bad.
speaking about the different places, the different areas, well, sometimes when you get a film, you understand, the script, the way it's written, it doesn't make sense because of like their nationality that we're not used to.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand what you're saying, you can't really express yourself.
Yeah.
Many times, we have to ask them, listen to it this way.
Right.
Well, how we did it,
Yeah.
how an Italian would do it, how an Irishman. Well, one night when we were doing the inside pocket,
Oh.
the 3 of us, we're supposed to go to the bar and straighten this out. The theme was that he's the main man, or we're his sidekicks, and he was handling a pool player
I was backing him, yeah.
who was doing a job on his own, and we found out about it. The guy's girlfriend called up. She dropped a dime because he did her wrong. He did her wrong. So he calls Tommy up, and we go to the place where this pool game is going to be done. $20,000 thing, and And we're talking to the guy. Sal's guy to give the guy. You give a slap. Who gives a slap?
Well, that night it was 6 in the morning, and talk about acting and acting and acting and acting all night long on the set. I smacked this guy, I'd say 50 times across the face. And they go, like, yeah, hit him harder. And they go, yeah, hit me harder. And I'm hitting him harder. And I'm hitting him harder. And I'm hitting him harder. Well, it's funny. It must have been 50 takes. And they got it over my shoulder. They did it here. They did it there. Make a long story short, I ran to this guy at the Melrose Diner in South Philadelphia. I said, are we okay now?
But get back to what I was
All
saying.
right, we got 30 seconds.
Get back. Sal's supposed to say,
Cut.
30 seconds. Go ahead.
Sal's supposed to say, let's go back to the bar. He says, let's hit the breeze. And they didn't know what hit the breeze was. And I tell you, we all the whole place cracked up. Hit the breeze. And that's like South Philly talk.
This is a
Hit it.
This is a great show. I love being at the show. Thank you so much for having us. Look forward to you guys seeing the
All right,
movie.
thank you.
Vince?
Thank you.
You're
How
gonna
about?
sing?
Thank you, pal. Hey, I'm hungry. I want to get something to eat.
All right. Vince, thank you so much.
No problem.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And so happy to have a cast, some of the actors that are in this movie coming up. It's called The Irishman. It's a lot about, people, places and things. And it's kind of, it's a true story, little story here, a little story there, and then put it together with some of the top actors in the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep bobbing and weaving, left hand high, stick and move, and keep your trunks off the canvas, and you got it beat. So until we meet again, may God bless each and every one. Adios, amigos. Ale, salud, 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 salud.
Al salud.
There we
Shake
go,
up.
baby.
Good night.
Everything goes, but the baby coach, and that you gotta push.